When it comes to track and field, no one has ever come close to Usain Bolt, even after he retired. Until now, Noah Lyles and his younger brother Josephus Lyles' lifetime goal is to beat Usain Bolt's world record from 2009, and it seems like they might just break it pretty soon. To find out more about Noah and Josephus Lyles' record-breaking sprint season, keep on watching. First up, Noah Lyles' record-breaking sprint season. Noah's biggest goal right now is to beat Usain Bolt's 19.19 seconds goal he set in 2009, but that's no easy feat. It's almost been 13 years and no one's managed to break it. However, Noah is the only one that has ever come anywhere near breaking that record with 19.31 seconds. This is actually the fastest an American has ever run. The previous American record was held by Michael Johnson, which was 19.32 seconds from the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. That's right, Noah beat him with 0.1 seconds. And he says Usain Bolt's next. This makes him the third fastest runner of all time. The only people that have run faster than Noah is obviously Bolt, and then Johan Blake with a record of 19.26 seconds. There are a lot of people that have doubts about Noah being able to beat Bolt's goal, which is pretty understandable because he seems basically invincible. When asked about this, Noah said he believes in himself, and he doesn't really care about what others think of him. Seems like Noah is pretty confident in his abilities, but is he too arrogant? We'll just have to wait and see. Turns out, he's actually broken Bolt's record before. While he's never actually beaten Usain Bolt's best yet, Noah has actually broken a record that once belonged to Bolt around 12 years ago. Bolt set a world record of 19.73 seconds in the 200-meter race at the Diamond League in Paris. Back in 2019, Noah completely shattered his record by finishing the race in 19.65 seconds. After the match, Noah even posted an Instagram story that wrote, "Bolt who?" It's kind of ironic that he said that, even though Bolt still holds the world record for fastest man, and he's just way more famous than him. Things started getting spicy when Bolt actually put up a story himself that said, "Bolt who?" Clearly, he was surprised that Noah posted that, and wanted him to know that he did in fact see his Instagram story. Bolt was actually asked what he thought about Noah breaking his record in an interview. In response, Bolt basically said that, unlike Noah, he never really cared about records. For him, it was all about the championships and getting that win. He wanted to show the world that he was the best of the best, and in the end, he achieved that goal. And that's all that really matters to him. Up next, could Noah's mental health affect his goals? Noah plans to become the fastest runner in the world, but up until now, it's been basically impossible to do this. This is because he's been struggling quite a lot with his mental health, which in turn has affected his performance. Although he wasn't bad in any way, you could still tell he had a lot more in him. Well, he actually sought medical help and has been seeing a therapist, Diana McNabb. He now says he's in the best mental state he's ever been in. Noah's actually been dealing with anxiety and depression ever since he was in high school and has openly talked about all his problems. After winning the bronze at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, Noah was extremely disappointed in himself because he expected to win gold. Leading into 2020, Noah was arguably one of the biggest names that were going from the US to Tokyo, and everyone had extremely high expectations. But when the 2020 Games got postponed because of COVID, all the buzz slowly died down, and when the Games picked back up, Noah just wasn't on the same track anymore. Fortunately, now he's better than he's ever been before, and is determined to become the fastest sprinter in the entire world. Finally, what about his younger brother, Josephus Lyles? Noah isn't the only one in his family who's a sprinter. His younger brother Josephus Lyles also made his first ever world championship team. Although he found out, he made it under some very unusual circumstances. Josephus came 5th in the 200-meter finals at the Nationals, where only the top 4 could earn a spot at Worlds. But Josephus left the Hayward field track because he thought he'd missed the team by 600ths of a second. That was until he got a call from Noah, who actually saw his younger brother's name on the board at the team processing, and told Josephus to quickly get fitted for national team clothes. Apparently, Josephus was actually selected for the 4x100 meter relay pool, which was very unexpected since he hadn't run the 100 at the Nationals. Mika Williams, who came 4th at the 100 meter Nationals, was not selected for the team for unknown reasons. If he had been selected, then Josephus probably wouldn't have made it. Alright, that's all we have for the Lyles brothers and their goals for the future. Before we end the video, we're gonna take a look at some other interesting stuff that's been happening in the sports world. First up, Juan Martín del Potro talks about his life without tennis. Most athletes transition pretty well after retiring, but this isn't the case for everyone. 34-year-old Juan Martín del Potro is having a really difficult time accepting life without tennis. Del Potro retired from professional tennis in February, but he'd actually been out for 2.5 years. The reason why he hasn't been able to play is that he fractured his kneecap and had to undergo 4 surgeries over the next 2 years. But the surgeries didn't turn out as they'd hoped, and the athlete was forced to retire. He actually returned earlier this year, just to say goodbye to tennis in front of his fans in Buenos Aires. Del Potro has now started a completely new treatment in Switzerland, which was recommended by a lot of tennis players, but even that doesn't really seem to be working out for him. He mentioned that he just can't accept the fact that he can't play tennis again. In 2018, Del Potro reached an all-time career high at number 3, which was a decade after he became the first person to beat Federer and Rafael Nadal in the same tournament at the 2009 US. At this time, he was in his prime and was even known as the Tower of Tandil. Although it seems like Del Potro seems to be having a really hard time, we hope his new treatment works out. Up next, Brown's Garrett gets a wake-up call. Brown's Miles Garrett just recently got into a car accident where his car was completely flipped over. When the police arrived at the scene, they found a Porsche on the side of the road with rollover damage. He was going around 65 miles per hour in a 46 miles per hour zone before he went off the hilly road near his house. Speeding seems to be the cause of the crash, and drugs or alcohol aren't suspected. Garrett and a woman in the car with him were also wearing seatbelts. He said if they hadn't been wearing seatbelts, they probably wouldn't have walked away from the crash. It was a one-car accident on a rural road just a while after the team's practice. Fortunately, Garrett suffered non-threatening injuries and was released from the hospital soon after. He suffered sprained shoulders, a few cuts, a ruptured blood vessel in his eye, and strained biceps. The football player promises that he will change his behavior for the better after surviving the accident. He said, "Definitely grateful to be here," and mentioned that this was the wake-up call he needed to start driving safely in the future. Garrett had been ticketed a lot of times in the past because of speeding, but it doesn't seem like he really cared until now. Last but not least, the US gets past Canada into the World Cup gold medal game. Canada has been ahead of the US this whole time in the World Cup, but now the tables have turned. Breanna Stewart and the US have used a defensive tactic to get in front of Canada and reach the gold medal game of the World Cup for the 4th tournament. Stewart managed to score 17 points, which is the main reason why the US managed to get a lead early and defeat Canada 83-43. Apparently, the 43 points were the lowest ever scored in a semifinal game in the history of the World Cup. After this, the US will be facing China, which very slightly edged Australia 61-59. The Chinese actually lost to the US in the pool round, which was a very close game for the Americans in this tournament. The US coach Cheryl Reeve said, "Our goal was to win a gold medal, and we're in a position to do that. With the way things are going for their team, it seems like they'll be achieving that goal pretty soon." That's a wrap for today's video. Do you think Noah Lyles will ever break Usain Bolt's goal? Or is he too overconfident? Make sure to let us know in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more videos like this one. We'll see you next time.